Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
Governor Eddie Calvo faced off with the very activists that accused him of going too far and rushing a vote on Guam's political status.
Sometimes they give me that tambaba, but I'm not their enemy.
During a meeting of the Commission on Decolonization Tuesday afternoon, Calvo sought to clear up the confusion, saying right now he's only presenting a plan to educate the community about the plebiscite. He says he was compelled to act by the very activists criticizing him now.
I'm your ally. I am a Chamorro, a proud, some people may snicker there. But my father and my grandfather and my great-grandfather back, have Chamorro blood just like every one of you. So with that, after years of talking and planning the plan and planning the plan for the plan, I'm finally putting, as governor for the first time, a plan. You may like it or you may not like it, but it is a plan. And from that plan, I want to be very clear on this plan. I'm not asking anything from the commission. Everything I do moving forward will be based on what I have in my resources as an individual and as a governor. But if the plan moves accordingly, and if there is a feeling that the education process has been working from my end, then come July, I will come to you. And I will come to and ask you for support.
During his State of the Island address, Governor Calvo announced plans to implement an education campaign with hopes of a plebiscite by this year's general election. However, on Monday, several local activist groups expressed concern over the rush for the plebiscite and opening the vote to all registered voters on Guam. Our Islands Are Sacred member, Victoria Leon Guerrero.
What people were outraged about was this possibility of, through a referendum process, the entire registered voting body of Guam being able to vote. And that Chamorros would be able to identify themselves as native inhabitants at the bottom. And so in the further discussion after your speech, it was said that only the native inhabitant votes would be what was submitted to Congress. However, this is a public election in which all voting results will be made public. Congress is going to make a decision that works in its best interest. Who is to say that they won't accept all of the votes that were cast? Who is to say that many more people will be able to sue the government of Guam for allowing them to vote but not counting their vote? And so for those of us that have always been extremely clear about this being the right of the native inhabitants, the right of those who were colonized to decide, it was an outrageous plan because it really undermines the purpose of a decolonization action to begin with. Now, I believe that that alone was enough to set everybody's attention, and that's why we're here today.
She says the governor doesn't have to go around the law, but instead work within it and consult with the experts in the commission. In the meantime, the governor challenged all the commissioners to come up with their own plan if they weren't satisfied with what he presented. An education campaign was outlined as well, with about 44 meetings already planned in the community. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.
Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.